Well, like you said, hey you guys. You might know that famous clip. It is from the movie The Goonies. Sadly, I hate to burst your bubble, but I am not going to be talking about that movie today, nor the character Sloth. I will actually be talking about sloths, the animal, in general. I will be telling you basically the general information you should know about sloths. This will include where they are from, what they eat, how they reproduce, where they live, etc. At the end, I hope that you will leave with a general knowledge about sloths and maybe even decide that they're your favorite animal, much like they are mine. So today, I will be telling you general information about sloths. Even though there are many different types of sloths, I will be giving information that can be spread over the course of all the different species. So to start off, sloths are a tropical mammal that spend roughly 20 to 30 years on Earth. They are actually the slowest, they actually have the world record for being the slowest animal on this planet. And there are actually two different types of sloths. There is a two-toed sloth and a three-toed sloth. This right here is the two-toed sloth, and this right here is a three-toed sloth. All that's different is their number of fingers. If someone were to look on the website World Wildlife Fund, they will see that there's actually 6 different species of sloths. And right here I've listed those, and then right here are just pictures of them. So now, what do sloths look like? As said in a book by Julie Murray, sloths have a very well-known look to them. They have very rounded bodies and long limbs with really long claws, which makes them, of course, really well-known. They also have a flat face with tiny eyes, a really big broad nose, and a really tiny mouth. They normally have brown to yellow fur, but like in this picture here, you will see that some have green fur. And that is actually not green fur, but rather algae, or otherwise known as bacteria, that is growing on these sloths' fur because of them moving so slow. Now you might think that this is really gross, but in actuality, this actually keeps them hidden, and this is part of their camouflage to keep them safe from jaguars and harpy eagles or other predators that they face. Sloths are roughly the same size as a medium-sized dog, and they roughly get between 6.5 to 20 pounds. It just depends, of course. And for a fun fact I thought would be cool is that scientists have actually found an extinct type of sloth called Megarethrium, which actually would get just as big as an Asian elephant. And this right here is just the skeleton and the generated picture. Another thing that sloths are really well known for is their smile. As you can see here, sloths always look like they're smiling. But that is actually due to the muscles in their face and making it look like they're smiling, when actually they could be in pain or could be really upset and no one would know. So therefore there's a stigma that surrounds the smiling face. So now, where do these smiling creatures come from? They generally come from Central and South America in the Amazon rainforest. The sloths are one of the only mammals that cannot regulate their body temperature, therefore they need the damp, humid climate in order to live. You will see that they tend to live in trees, and National Geographic actually states that sloths sleep from 15 to 20 hours a day, if not more, maybe a little less. And because of living in the rainforest area that floods a lot, they have adapted to learn how to swim, and they can swim really quickly in order to survive. Now, literally, where do sloths come from? Sloths tend to be very solitary mammals, but when it's time to reproduce, the females will shrill, much like cats will. And if there are multiple males nearby, they will fight for the female and will literally just brawl at each other with their claws and their long arms until they win the female. The gestation period for a sloth is roughly 5 to 6 months, and just like any other mammal, sloths will normally only carry one fetus. Occasionally you will have 2 within one mother. And according to Dias, babies will stay with their mothers for roughly 5 to 6 months of their life at least. They tend to cling onto the bellies like in this picture here. But they have seen that some sloths will stay with their mothers from 2 to 3 years or even until sexual maturity. And just like other mammals, they drink milk from their mother. This right here is actually a picture of a sloth that was abandoned and is now in a reserve. So these animals must eat something, so what is it? Sloths are like humans in that they're omnivores, which means that they eat plants, vegetables, and sometimes meats of some sort. So normally sloths will eat buds or shoots or leaves, but sometimes you'll see them eating insects or birds. Sloths actually have a multi-compartment stomach, which in turn sometimes makes them digesting one leaf last for 30 days, which is crazy. And then on top of that, sloths actually only come down from their trees once a week to poop, which is disgusting. But they really only come down once a week to poop. And as said by Bradford, their diets might actually be the reason that they are so slow. Overall today, we covered what sloths are, where they come from, all of the things like that. I hope that today you enjoyed listening to my speech and that even though some of you might have rather watched the Goonies, you learned about sloths instead. And like I like to say, no hurries, no worries. Thank you.